Welcome to YouTube channel Knowledge Base. This is Suresh Venkat, connecting world with innovative experts. Today we have Mr. R.K. Murthy from Bangalore, who has worked in corporate as a resource management professional for more than 17 years. Now he is a coach for health and fitness for various corporates, individuals, and educational institutions. Mr. Murthy has represented India in Asian and World Athletics Championship. He has run various marathons, including international marathons like Boston, Chicago, Berlin, New York. And today it's a pleasure welcoming him, Mr. Murthy.
Thank you, Suresh.
Thank you. Welcome. How do you customize fitness program among individuals and groups?
Okay, so first of all, fitness is a basic requirement for individuals, actually speaking. In our culture or habit or whatever we come up with, somehow, Indians, we preferably do such things when you come as a group rather than individual. We look for something called motivation, something called push, something called social gathering or whatever. So typically, or I don't know whether outside India also it's the same psychology or whatever. Maybe I think it's the same. So rather than suppose few percent, maybe 10% of the people will be so focused they don't need anybody, and rest of the people they really need some support system. So that's when the group comes into picture, and especially if you are an amateur athlete. So amateur athletes, you mean people, somebody like you and me, where the primary our primary role is to work 8 to 10 hours and take care of the family and things like that. And this sports or fitness is one among our hobby and things like that. For them, I think coming in a group makes sense. That's why I categorize them as a group and train them. Or if you're really focused on things like that, I just train individuals also. That's the categories I segregate: individual and group.
So how do you measure a success of a fitness program?
Actually, I don't know, there is some bar or something to measure. So one simple thing I'll tell you. The people who comes to me or whom I train, if he or she should look in the mirror and say, oh wow, I'm looking smart today than yesterday, I think that's the measurement you all should carry. You can't, or I don't suggest you guys to compare you with somebody. It's good to compare others to reach that standard. So of why they are, how can I be there? That way it's better. So, but you fight against yourself. That's enough. Being an amateur, you fight yourself. So if you feel I'm looking better than yesterday, that's the success, actually speaking. It's not that I go compete in Olympic Games, compete in Asian Games, I represent my country. You don't have to have that level of things. At amateur thing, you just look at yourself and you feel happy from yesterday to today. That's enough, and continue with that.
So you mean to say it's more of a feel-good factor?
Feel-good factor. Feel-good factor means not only just appearance-wise. So I became thin. Last 3 months I was a little bit fat. Now I can get into my pants. So I can get into this salwar. So that is a satisfaction. My cheeks has gone in. So my hip inch loss have happened. I lost half a kg of my weight. So those are the things I meant. So from previous 2 months back when I started to today, I think that's the goal small. That is the happiness and that is the success of measurement.
What should be the frequency in terms of evaluating your one's fitness program?
This is a very interesting thing. So you can't keep measuring yourself every day in and day out. In fact, I say anything should not be measured on daily basis or whatever. So some people in fitness, when it comes, every day they go on to the measurement board and see your weight. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. It should not. You shouldn't. You should have some milestones. Example, I say, ideal is 12 weeks, 3 months. You have to work hard. You have to go through that process and you really give it there and just check once in 3 months, 2 months. That's ideal. 12 months, 12 weeks is the ideal time frame. You can't just keep measuring yourself and trying to see whether you're put on weight or lost weight on every daily basis. That's not the right thing.
See, as the age goes, naturally one has to reduce their physical fitness activity. So how do you think this can be gradually reduced, the fitness activity?
I don't know. I think your question was a little bit other way. Reduce means what? I feel.
See, for example, for example, see at the age of 30, a person undertakes a 10-kilometer running on a daily basis. See, at the age of 50, he can't do the same, right?
Okay. Understood. So
how do you gradually reduce that?
Yeah. There are two things. Actually, I would say from bottom up approach. So suppose if you are at 30 and you are doing it, and you can gradually take it to point A to point B and upwards. You should grow actually. Suppose if you're not done and try to start at the 50, so you ensure that you cannot compare at the 30% level, 30 years and try to do it because you're already starting late. If you started with 30, you can grow gradually, absolutely no problem. Your fundamentals are perfect, your pace has been good built, your foundation is good, absolutely no problem. Okay, once when you reach at that certain level, you also should respect your body and age. So you can't keep measuring or competing at all age level. Or I suggest that's what your competition is yourself in the mirror. You please ensure what is your age and go accordingly. Don't compare with next level or other things. Doesn't matter if you should come down, go up. No, if you gradually start from the bottom process, you can go upwards. If you're starting somewhere in between, there you have to ensure at what level you're starting. So ideal thing is start with a proper foundation, start with a proper base, and follow the process and fundamentals right. So that's what I suggest.
You have run various marathons like Boston, Berlin, Chicago. What it takes to be a marathon runner?
Okay, marathon runner, it takes, I'll say, hard work. First is hard work. You have to really work hard. Okay. You have to be very consistent in whatever you're doing. And you have to continue what you're doing. You cannot be consistent and hard work for 1 week, 2 weeks, and things like that. Continue for a longer period.
It's an endurance test.
Yeah. And you have to be dedicated completely. You have to be dedicated yourself. So endurance. So if somebody is starting in new, I want to run a marathon, I suggest don't do it. That is not the right way to do it. Or some people will say, I want to by end of I'll give myself 1 year, I will do it. Actually, 1 year is much better. Some people will say, I'll run next month or 2 months. For marathon is a 42 kilometers journey. It is not easy. It is not easy. So the body will go through a lot of transformation. It takes a lot of time. So I suggest people first start with base, something like 2 kilometers, even 5 kilometers start. Then gradually go up to 10, then 15, 20, 30, then 42. That's where it is. So it's at least, I suggest minimum 2 years of process is what I suggest to run a marathon. Otherwise, you should not even run, just to run a marathon. So you should not jump in suddenly, read, Google, go and look into some YouTube videos. We should not do all those things. And you can't do something on your own also. These are all should be properly guided. Some guide should be there, some coach should be there, some team should be there. Just by reading in Google looking into some pictures and videos on YouTube, this cannot be done. So it's not done. So somewhere, some people can do it, but I somehow feel that they will end up into injuries later. So if you want to sustain and you want to be something like this fitness or running into as your daily life, it's a part of your lifestyle, then you have to follow proper coaching and methodologies. You cannot just jump in suddenly into marathons, and I suggest don't do also, because it takes a lot of effort.
What type of training that you underwent before running a Boston Marathon?
Okay, so I'll tell you, among all the marathons, Boston is considered to be one of the most prestigious and famous marathon in the world today. So Boston, just by a number itself, it is 124th year running. So it's been happening for last 124 years, and I don't think so anything has that many numbers of history. It's all very few things only we have. Some company is 120 years old, or some institute, I doubt, or I don't know. Institute can be 100. So very few things. So in that, this also falls into one of the category of 124 years of running marathon. Even a New York marathon is 50 years old. That's it. So Boston is 124. So it's most prestigious and process oriented. It takes every age has some time to qualify for that and get there. So the qualifying itself is a prestige thing. The journey, what we go through to qualify Boston itself is a lot of learnings. It's a lot of self-satisfaction. It is a lot of great achievement, because it's something like that is for amateurs. It is something like Olympics for amateurs. It's something like Olympic Games to qualify that, because everybody will come with a qualification. You cannot just take an entry through a travel agent or charity and things like that. Yeah, of course, charity you can, but it's you can't buy that. You have to earn it. That's what I meant. So it takes a lot of thing. I took around 5 years to train for that and qualify, and then I achieved it. So it's a 5 years of effort, 5 years of training to run a Boston Marathon.
So what is your advice to the people who want to undertake a fitness program on a daily basis?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. See, running, what we spoke all this while, running is different, fitness is different. I say fitness is important for everyone, especially somebody watching this video, a corporate guy, corporate professional, can be women, men. So to be fit is very important. So to be fit is what? There are 3 simple things. You have to be physically active for an hour, 45 minutes to 1 hour in a daily, 60 minutes. You have to eat neat and right food. That is important. And if possible, you have to have a positive frame of mind. So that is positive mental wellness. These are the 3 things required for a corporate professional, amateur, like you and me, or a working people class. So I suggest for them 1 hour of physical training. Stop eating junk or control your food, and have some mental wellness. So mental wellness can be even doing something of your own which you like, or something your hobby you should have, something of your passion you should have. That gives more satisfaction level. So when you do what you like, the endorphin release in the brain, it happens more. So you feel comfortable. So your stress level comes down. So I suggest people to have a hobby or pick up a sports or do something what you like. Need not be physical, can be art, can be something like dancing, painting, anything can be. But pick up and choose what you like and do that. And eat proper food. Eat proper food. Doesn't matter. Preferably homemade and your self-made is better. If you don't have that luxury, some of us, so can be, but avoid eating. You know that we all know what is junk and what is not junk. Maintain that and be active for 45 minutes to 60 minutes daily. So these 3 things, if you keep it going, your life will be fantastic. But very true that we somehow don't give importance until unless we hit with some medical casualties. So I suggest don't get there, start now so that you don't get there. Once you get there and try to do, you're already late, you're crossed, you missed your bus or a flight. So it takes difficult to get back.
What is ideal timing for a fitness program? Maybe early morning, evening?
Oh, very interesting question. So actually speaking, there is nothing this certain particular time zone. It's all we created for our comfortableness or necessity. So suppose something like in India, we normally any major cities or any place, it gets crowded after sunrise. It's quite difficult throughout the day, it will be crowded and flooded with traffic and things like that. So typically we choose early morning so that you get rest of the day to do your own things. So it's better to do it in early morning, allocate some time and do. If you're not able to do, it's not that you can't do in afternoon or evening. You can still do. If you're committed, please do in the afternoon. If you're committed, if you have a time, you do it in it. So when you get, you do. It's nice to do in the morning so that other things can be nicely planned. There is nothing you shouldn't do any of the time. Only thing is you have to have an empty stomach. So you should have eaten some 2 hours before doing any activity. That's all you take care, and any time is fantastic time, not an issue.
Any final comments, sir?
So as I said, please give importance to these 3 things. Health is most important. Rather than inviting some major things. So it's better to avoid early stages itself. So for that, you have to do physically be fit, eat right, and have some mental balanced frame of mind.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot for spending your valuable time, sharing your experiences. Happy running.
Thank you, Suresh. Thanks for giving me an opportunity. If anybody wants to talk to me or ask some clarification, please feel free, and you can share my number and my email ID. I'll be more than happy to help.
It's my pleasure, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks.